You can never turn off detective mode when there's a suspicious activity or drama going on with one of your plants, like this. This is how it should look. This is how it should look. And then over here, it looks like this. So right off the bat, I'm thinking, oh, there's just too much foot traffic here. Well, wait till you find out what the problem actually was, because halfway into this video, I realized it's something completely different, not even related to what I thought, and I just can't wait to share it. Just a good example of why never to turn off detective mode in your garden. Okay, so it's the fall season, which means it's time to divide perennials. And what I'm noticing when I look at this path is I have that nice clump of mazes down on the end right there. That's really filled in and lush. And there's not much up here, even though I've moved it sporadically. I've moved little pieces. But what I'm going to do is get 2 big clumps and put 1 big clump here and 1 big clump there. Here is some mazes that I transplanted between these stones earlier this season. And if you look closely, they look like there's something wrong with them. You know, it looks like maybe a bug's got them or something like that. But really, what's happening here is they're being exposed to too much foot traffic. So this plant can handle light foot traffic, but this is an indication that this area is getting a little heavier foot traffic than I anticipated. It could even just be from the dog. However, what I'm going to do is move it to the outside of the path a little bit, and then next time I come, I'll be able to hopefully see an improvement. But you know, sometimes it just takes some detective work in figuring out what's wrong, rather than thinking, oh, that plant's just not doing good, it's not healthy. Well, it actually looks perfectly healthy, it's just damaged from the foot traffic. Knowing what the problem is helps me find the remedy. Without knowing what the problem is, I cannot remedy it. So I'm just moving it to a little bit outside of the path to where hopefully it'll get a little less foot traffic, and then I'll take a look at it next time. This plant's really tough anyway. I've never even seen it unhappy unless it's in too much shade, but it's a really tough plant. Okay, so I just discovered another fact. So initially, when I saw this Mazus in the pathway that looked like, you know, it was struggling, and I jumped to the conclusion that it was in an area that got too much foot traffic. Well, come to find out, this one is outside the path and looks the same way, and so is this one. So then I was thinking, okay, well, maybe the dog's path is, you know, running down this way, and then she shifts or something that causes her to go outside the path right here. But then, as I'm working along, dividing it, I discovered that behind this patch, so this patch is all healthy and it's in the pathway, over here, behind this little stand holding firewood, is some more of the mazes that looks the same. So then this is a different clue. This tells me that it's not a high traffic issue, because this place gets 0 foot traffic and it's has the same thing. So now I am going to jump to the conclusion that it's rabbits. There's a little hole under the fence over there, and it looks like the rabbits come in and they're nibbling on the edge in the places that are hidden, and then, you know, maybe they creep out a little bit when they feel comfortable at night and come and nibble on what's in the center of the pathway. But it is the same pattern of leaves, just sheared off in random directions. Now, so again, that's just another example of why being a detective in your garden is always necessary. I can never let my guard down. You know, just when I think I knew exactly what the problem was, you know, 20 minutes later, as I'm trying to resolve that problem, I get another clue that tells me, wait a minute, that doesn't go with the conclusion that I had. So I have to, you know, reassess everything and go with the clues that I have again. You know, even after years and years and years of experience of dealing with this, that's exactly what high traffic, you know, would look like and do to a plant. And my approach is just, you know, you have to start somewhere and come up with the most reasonable explanation that is the most least demanding to solve. I don't jump to the highest demanding solution, because that just would be pretty chaotic to me anyway, to always jump to the conclusion that I need to apply some sort of treatment or pesticide to solve a problem. I mean, it still would have gotten me nowhere in this situation. I'm not necessarily an organic gardener, but I do like to err on that side of the least disruptive solution that I can come up with. And whenever there's an issue with the plant, 99% of the time, it's because something is wrong with the conditions that's making it susceptible to whatever's invading it. It's just a good example of why never to turn off detective mode in your garden. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider subscribing. Feel free to leave questions or suggestions in the comment section below, and I hope you'll join me again on Garden Help.